Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Monday Q&A call on the speakerfocus.com platform. I am Kevin T. Robertson, proud CEO and America's leading focus expert. I am prepping for Focus Tour 2023. It's about to go down big. I'm coming to a city near you, starting in Washington, D.C., Virginia, and Maryland area. I am so proud to be here each and every week with the one and only Mr. Auston Troyer. I could not do everything I do without his support, without his technical guidance, without his genius being the CTO of this one-of-a-kind company that is providing the highest level of service for you possible. See, here's what happens on this platform. We show up every single Monday and we tackle the biggest challenges that speakers face in the industry of growing their speaker brand, positioning, branding, messaging, sales tools, pricing conversation, proper social media management, sales funnel management, sales cycle training, internal documents, so you can have a sustainable business model. And whatever challenges you're going through, we are here to help you solve each and every one of them. This is where we really earn our revenue on this platform. We absolutely love being here to help you deal with these obstacles. Many of you are starting at the bottom of the hill. Many of you already have a speaker brand built, but you're still running into challenges. Everybody wants to learn how to get more business. That's what everybody wants to do. Excuse me. So the real challenge is, if you're not in a position where you actually have some support tools and resources to tackle these things, you're going to be, I call it, struggling and suffering. You want to be dealing with double S syndrome for the rest of your career? If not, I suggest you tap into the mechanism and the system of people who know what they're talking about. My opening statements tonight are super vitally important. I just got a message from Auston that is just, I don't get inspired often, but when I do, it's got to be something next level. And Auston is always sending me something that's next level. It allows me, you know how America's leading focus expert keeps my focus? Like, I'm the kind of person, I have to have structure. I have to be organized. I just can't be winging it. Like, I've got to have some type of system in place. And man, the only reason why I have the success that I'm having right now is because Auston has systematized everything. And it allows me to be on the front lines and I'm talking about, I'm like a 7.0 earthquake when I come through. I mean, I just be wrecking shit back and forth. This is the sales cycle. It's horrendous. It's horrific. It's treacherous. It's torrential rains. And you got to be built for this. It's sad that there's some people I talk to and some prospects, they think that I talk too rough. I had a lady to say, KTR, this isn't for me because your tone is a little offensive. Like you sound like you mean good, but I get defensive when people talk to me like that. I say, oh, you get defensive when you hear the truth? That's why you're going to stay right where you are. See, everyone is not built to operate a speaker business. Everyone says they want to talk, but very few people want to learn how to speak. There's a difference. Now, let me share this with you because this needs to be stated, because a lot of you are dealing with this with support tickets. So now you can have a video reference point, not that you don't already have it, but reiteration and repetition is the master teacher. And sometimes you may not catch it on time, 1, 2, 3, or 1,000. Sometimes you may catch it on 1,001. Colonel Sanders got told no 1,009 times. You still see KFC in every damn city, on every corner, in every major city. So don't give me this stuff about I want to quit or I want to give up. You need repetition. So let me break it down like this. Here's how you should be managing the sales cycle. Now, let me preface this by saying the following. If you don't do what I tell you to do in module 1, 2, 3, and 4, then you're not ready to execute what Auston is telling you to do in module 5. You're not ready to go to marketplace. Some of you are looking at module 5 because you think the magic is there. Like, you're going to just jump to the marketplace and start booking speaking engagements. And you're not ready. You're not. You know why? Because you haven't finished your messaging. You haven't finished your speaker video demo, your speaker info kit, or your website. You haven't set your speaker business up. You haven't started posting the right videos on your social media so you can start feeding the machine. Now, how the hell are you supposed to get your conversion, right? Conversion infrastructure is what Auston talks about in Module 5. How are you supposed to get the conversion infrastructure built if you can't feed the machine? There's content that goes inside the conversion infrastructure. You got to have the right kind of software. He talks about free distribution and paid distribution. We don't want you spending any money on paid advertising, yet some of you are sending me emails talking about KTR, I want to start running Facebook ads. You haven't even learned to master the free organic outreach through the email, the GMAS, setting up a subdomain so your whole campaign doesn't wind up in the spam folder and you get high open rates. You haven't even done that. Why don't you try crawling before you walk? Why don't you start jogging before you run? Why don't you learn how to get some cardiovascular in place, some good cardio before you start trying to run a marathon? A lot of you can just slow walk it and still get there, but you don't want to. The lack of patience that I'm seeing in the support tickets is staggering to me, when all you have to do is just take it one step at a time. Now, those of you who are ready to go to the marketplace, Samantha, I see your hand up. I'll be right with you. I really need to make this point because I only talk about stuff that the market is sharing with me. See, this is what you people have to understand. You have to listen to the market and the target buyer. So I know the target buyer better than you because that's what happens when you have a lot of repetitions. And I don't look it, but I'm 54. I'm in the early third quarter of my life. I've been through the repetitions before. I know what I'm talking about because I have been brutalized, slapped around, disrespected by these meeting planners who knew how to out-negotiate me, knew that I was operating like a low-level motivational speaker, so they paid me as such. But as soon as I learned some higher-level marketing, like what we're teaching you on this platform, well, you might as well say it's even higher because I didn't know this stuff 25 years ago. That's for damn sure. 30 years ago, 37 years ago when I first started. I'm telling you that the meeting planner can see the integrity in your brand. And they know when a speaker has leverage. They already know that they're dealing with a high fee speaker because they dealt with them before. Now, if you want to continue to look like a low level or low fee speaker, then just keep participating in all the activity you see most of the people do on YouTube, because they have no idea what they're talking about. They don't know how this business is wired from the inside out. So listen to this carefully. I'm going to give you some simple framework that when this is what you're supposed to be delivering to your client after you have a strong brand and you built it properly. You can't do what I'm getting ready to instruct you to do unless you have the proper phraseology and the messaging, unless you have the kind of outreach email set up, unless you have the right kind of sales tools. So when they come to your landing page, now your lead magnet is super duper strong. Your website is meeting planner friendly and leadership centric. Your speaker video demo is amazing. It talks about the value in your signature programs. And your speaker info kit, it literally does all the talking for you. It has all your degrees, awards, citations, certifications, commendations, accreditations, all the testimonials for third-party validation. It has all your professional credentials listed in chronological order. Your fake-ass story is in that speaker info kit. All kinds of pictures of people saying how great you are is in there. Any books that you've written are going to write. Press, media coverage that many of you have had. Everything goes in there. The reasons why they should hire you, and it answers every single question. See, this is called the pre-selling of your professional speaking deliverable. Pre-selling. Oh my God, if you do it right, when you do it right, it absolutely takes away all the pain of what you're going through right now. How do I give my services to the target buyer? Well, if you listen to what we're telling you to do and stop being so hard-headed, it's going to come to you. You have to stop forcing it. You have to start following the steps. Keep your head down, block out all other distractions, and please, I'm begging you, the river of money is flowing so deep right now. I can't wait to go back on tour. I wish it was tomorrow, but even I have to be patient because I got some campaigns set up right now that they're going to launch right around the end to the beginning of the year. And then it's just going to be a wave of leads coming in just like it is with the coaching program. Now, with that being said, Listen carefully. So what you're supposed to be doing when you have your target buyer on the phone, you talking to them through Zoom, or you're having a first interaction with them after they schedule a call with you. Remember, the one who facilitates the call has all the leverage. If you're doing outbound, like cold calling, you don't have any leverage. That's total cold. But a cold email outreach, here's what we're learning. Cold email outreach is absolutely killing the game right now. And I'm not talking about killing it like in a bad way. I'm talking about crushing the game. Because all of our students who are utilizing this strategy, even the ones who joined our coaching program, who've been booking speaking engagements through outreach, their phraseology is kind of weak. We just brushing up the phraseology, sharpen it up a little bit, and they put it right back into the marketplace, and now they're booking more speaking engagements. See, again, I listen to the market space. I talk to speakers every single day on our platform, off our platform. I'm dealing with prospects globally. I mean, this thing has got out of control. See, this is what happens when you just take the steps. Your speaker business will literally be out of control. All you got to do is just do everything Austin asked you to do. Listen, we are getting leads from South Africa, Lisbon, the UK absolutely loves us. I'm talking about Australia, Wales, North Africa. I'm talking about Copenhagen, Denmark, Amsterdam, the Netherlands. I could go on and on and on. I'm seeing more 6-1 area codes. I'm seeing more 9-1 plus 9-1 area codes, all these international area codes. I'm talking about Jamaica. All of the islands are starting to jump in there. We got leads coming from everywhere. It's some new place that I can't even pronounce every single day. I have to ask the person, so what country is that close to? Oh, that's close to Lisbon. Oh, that's North Africa. That's close to like Morocco and Tunisia. I was on tour in that area. So sometimes it rings a bell. I'm like, oh yeah, I was on tour out there. And boom, I strike up a conversation with a person who can barely speak English. But I tell you what they want to do. They want to learn how to build their speaker business because they're tired of the pandemic beating them down in their country. And they want to get some of that international money. And it's never been, the river has never been this deep ever in my life. I'm giving you firsthand accounts of what I'm experiencing every single day. So the first thing you're supposed to do, and Samantha and Lisa Almond-Ballman, I'll be right with you. Thank you for your patience. First thing you're supposed to do is you're supposed to find out what the client situation is. What is their current situation? Now, their situation may be that they lack employee engagement. They suffer from burnout. They got DEI issues, diversity, equity, and inclusion. They have LGBTQ plus issues all the way across the board. They have management issues. They have leadership issues. They have communication problems. They have efficiency, time management, organizational skills. The HR department is overrun with corporate litigation. See, your expertise can fit in so many areas of this corporate offering. You know, I should say you have the offering. The corporation has the problem. So what's their situation? That's the situation. Any meeting plan I'm talking to, and I get tons of them every single month on my calendar. So what I'm learning also is that the meeting planner they're tired of paying the speaker a lot of money. They want to get it for themselves. So they're scheduling a call with me so they can learn how to build their speaker business. I mean, it's amazing. Everybody wants in on the money because they see it's there. Don't listen to this bullshit about the economy's down. That's bullshit. If you're thriving, you don't have to worry about the economy because guess what? You know how to weather the storm and you know how to manage and you know how to move your business model to a whole nother level. Lead generation is what this is all about. So what's your client's current situation? Your job is to move them out of the current situation that they're in. So listen, do a needs assessment, ask questions. So how long have you been at your organization? Oh yeah, oh, okay. So how long have you been struggling with that problem? How long have employees been having a high turnover rate? Right? While they're talking, by the way, I'm writing everything down. All right, I'm understanding what the situation is. My job is to not try to sell them. My job is to listen, and then when it's my turn to speak, move them out of that situation. Right? Now I've identified with the problem. I'm making my services relatable. So now they understand exactly why. See, this is the bullshit that's going on in the marketplace of how you can very easily get to number one in your space because everybody else is saying that they're number one. They're telling you what you should be doing, but very few people in this marketplace have the skill set to show you how to do it. And more importantly, tell you why you should be doing it. Now, I've already identified with the situation. Now, I'm going to move them out of that situation with my signature programs. I'm going to help them solve the problem. That exactly what they told me. Efficiency, time management, organizational skills, management, leadership, communication, sales is down. Operations is screwed up. We have a serious HR challenge. We have a diversity, equity, and inclusion challenge. Our minorities on our staff are not being welcomed. Pregnant women are not being welcomed back into the workplace. So you can just go on and on and on. These are the challenges. The shit is literally like a daytime soap opera. I mean, it's all kinds of problems going on. I call it corporate dysfunction. Now, situation. What's the situation? Move them out of that situation. Help them solve the problem. There is medicine in your message from your signature programs, and that is going to be the thing to help them solve the problem. Now, next thing you got to do is you got to put yourself in a situation is what comes next is moving them out of the problem. What are you insinuating? What kind of impact are your services going to have? What is the implication? In other words, what are you really implying? What are you implying about the problem? Yes, this is what I'm implying, that you have a high turnover rate. Now, you can't just tell them what the problem is. You got to make an implication. You have to show them what the new version of their company is going to look like by way of your 4 signature programs and all of your professional speaking deliverables. Just the people that don't understand, signature programs are modes of delivery. And there are many modes of delivery. See, this is why the pool of money is so deep. It's just not keynote speeches. It's just not about educational keynotes for 1 to 2 hours. It's not just about half-day programs, 2 to 4 hours, full-day programs, 4 to 8 hours. You can also offer them executive coaching. You can offer them consulting services. You can do an on-site strategic work session. You could do a focus group. You could do a retreat. You could do a celebrity event. You could do their conference. You could do their local conference, local meeting, regional conference, regional meeting, national conference, national meeting, international conference, international meeting. Oh, I got more. Webinars, teleseminars, all kinds of different virtual presentations that you can offer to your clients if you only knew how to do this. But you can't do it without the messaging. So here's the implication. Yes, I'm implying I've identified with the problem, and watch this. You want to put them in a difficult position to tell you no. Here's what I'm implying when I talk to the client. Obviously, you're not going to be rude, but let me tell you something. I tell my clients up front, like I told all of you up front, my kind of honesty is not for everybody, but most people seem to appreciate it. Now, I tell them you have 20 employees on average going out the door every single month on an average of $50,000 per employee. That's $1 million that you're losing. Now, it's not really $1 million because for every 1 employee, it takes 3 times the training budget. So that's $150,000 times 20. So you know what? It seems to me like you got millions of dollars going out the door every single month, and you don't have a system in place to correct this or remedy the situation. And I'm talking about behavioral modification. If you're going to change an employee, we're talking about behavioral modification, 30, 60, 90-day period. It's not going to happen overnight, but your services is going to be the thing that's going to put them in a situation where they do get the behavioral modification and you're willing to offer a follow-up. By the way, follow-up means more money because you get to come back. You can also give them a report. They're going to give you an analysis of how your services actually work. These corporations don't play no games. See, all I'm talking about, nowhere in what I'm saying to you there's room for motivational dialogue and inspirational bullshit. Nowhere. It's only room for value, and more value. Are you helping them with the key takeaways? Are you helping them achieve their desired outcomes and all their learning objectives? I'm almost wrapping this up. What's the situation? What's the problem? What's the implication? See, what happens when you don't utilize these signature programs? What happens when I don't help you with this with the burnout? What happens when I don't help you with high employee turnover? What's going to happen? Because guess what? See, I just tell them just like this. Do you want to be struggling and suffering for the next 3, 6, 9 months? You want to be having the same conversation a year from now? Do you want your employees to leave because you're not creating a conducive environment that's teaching, growing, learning, supporting them? But forget the money. What about upward mobility? Because if they can't see that they're going to get some of that in your organization, you're not going to have anybody working here. Is that what you want? That's why it's so hard to get anything accomplished, because you say team, but it's not functioning like a team. See, I understand team dynamics. I also understand the mechanics of communication and how every piece of that organization is supposed to flow. That's your job as a professional speaker. Because if you don't know it, and people want to know damn, KTR, you get 50,000 for a keynote. That's right, because I know what I'm talking about. So you should be getting your 5 to 10,000 because you know what you're talking about. So remember, what's their current situation? You're going to move them out of that situation with the value found by way of your 4 signature programs. What is their problem? Have you listened to the problem? Do you know what the market is saying to you, or you talking out of your ass? You got to really know what the target buyer's problem is. Do you know it or you don't? There's no in between. If you know it, or I should say when you know it, you're gonna take your signature programs and help them solve that problem. Then what are you implying? What are you implying? What's the implication? In other words, here's the question. What's the implication if you don't utilize my services? You're going to be sitting right in the same spot another year from now? That's what I'm implying. Absolutely. I tell them just like that. There's medicine in the messaging. There's medicine in training. There's support. I have tools. I have resources. See, these kind of words, they resonate too. Damn, KTR, you know what? That made a lot of sense what you said. Yeah. And guess what? If it doesn't make sense, you could just stay right there and suffer because I got somebody else that needs my attention. See? And you can't be afraid. Phraseology, I talk about it all the time. Now, let's move to the need. See, if they need it and they want it and you got it, they're going to get it. If they need it and want it and you got it, they're going to get it. And guess what? That means they're going to be ready to talk budget with you, because the client clearly understands that when they talk to me, I help stop the pain. I help ease the pain. I help stop the pain. I help the pain from not coming back. Now, if you want to take a risk and chance on your own and hire some rookie who can't help you, then you need to go pay them $500. You want to feel good, then go get a motivational speaker. Right? That's not what I'm teaching you here. I'm teaching you that the shit that I'm teaching, it's going to be real uncomfortable around here for a long time. But eventually, if you trust me, when you hire me, when you build with me, when you develop a strategic partnership with me, I'm in it with you. See, I'm willing to help you bear some of that pain because I'm willing to get in there and roll up my sleeves and do the work with you. What's the situation? What's the problem? What's the implication? Is there a need? Is there a need? One of my mentors taught me a long time ago, never, ever do business with people you don't need. And if the meeting planner doesn't need you, you can forget about getting hired. See, if they need you, the only reason why they're hiring you is because they can see the payoff. They can see the payoff. I mean, when I tell you they can see it, it's like, damn, dude just showed me what it looks like. Right now, we're in hell, but he just showed me the horizon of a beautiful sunset. Or everybody's drinking pina coladas on the beach. We walking with no shoes on. It's a perfect 78-degree night. The breeze is blowing. It's not a problem in the world. And I feel free. I feel stress-free. That's the picture that you're painting for your client. What's the situation? How you going to get them out this situation? What's the problem? Are your signature programs strong enough to help them solve the problem because you deliver value and you stop being so self-promoting, what's the implication? If after you help them solve the problem, if they don't utilize your services, what situation are they still going to be in? Because I can guarantee you it's not going to be good. See, I tell them to their face, just like that. And then, do they need it? Do they need it and do they want it? More importantly, do they need it? Because if it's a need, when they say yes, they see the payoff. They're like, damn, if I do everything KTR is telling me to do, I'm going to get paid. If I do everything Auston tells me to do, I'm going to get paid. If I do everything that he's offering as a speaker, we're going to have less challenges in here. Like, I'm tired. These people, the pandemic has beat everybody down. They're sick of this shit. Don't you want to be the savior with the life raft that comes along so these people can start living a better way of life? That's your responsibility. That's your job. And if you don't want it, get out of this shit and go do something else. I'm ready to take questions now. Thank you so much for listening to me. Samantha T. Mitchell, respect the brand and put some respect on her name. Sam, how you doing this evening?
Oh, that was good. Happy Monday, KTR and Speaker Focus family. So I'm pushing through the modules. I need to go back through module 4 and still in the process of building out my website. That's still pretty slow. Do you have any updates on the photos and all of the deliverables from?
Yes. I do have an update. I was waiting for somebody to ask me that question.
I was going to ask you.
Okay, so I got emails out to Will, I've been trying to give him some space. So I just need another link from Will so I can access his photos. I do have the link for Mike Ware's photos. I'm going to share that probably tomorrow morning. The other photos that Emish took, Emish has the most photos out of everybody. So I'm going to work with Emish to dump those into a folder and share that with everybody this week. Michael Towers has got his hands on the footage. He worked on it over the weekend. He said he's going to have a link for me probably today or tomorrow that I can share with everybody's performance for the raw footage. You're going to have access to that.
Okay.
All right.
So we'll have the raw footage. We'll have the raw footage between tomorrow, like by tomorrow.
Probably? Yeah, probably tonight or either tomorrow. I'm thinking more like tomorrow because he just sent me an email at like 7 a.m. this morning because I emailed him and I asked him what's the update because he told me he was going to work on it over the weekend, and he did. And he said, hey, just give me the rest of the day to finish finalizing everything, and I can start showing you the folder where everything is. He said he's going to send me whatever link he's going to send me, and then I'll share it with everybody, or either I'll forward you the access link to the video footage.
Awesome. And I think most of us had Mike's pictures already. It's the ones from the actual showcase day that we don't have. And I guess
like I said, Eric was boots on the ground. Eric took the most photos. Will took the second most, and then Mike was just there to film, to just cover the dinner. But yeah, we're getting all that stuff together right now, and it has been one heck of a journey for all of us, everybody on the production team. All hell's been breaking loose for everybody, but you know what? We do appreciate the patience, and we are going to come through for it so that you have all the footage that you need and that you pay for.
Okay, awesome. And then so I'll be able to incorporate some of that into the website, and then so. As far as the EPK, like I had an EPK done and I had shared it with you originally. So is there, like, I know you have yours, but what's the preliminary speaker EPK with just, like, I'm not going to have however many pages you have. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't have that much. But do you have a criteria of like the must includes in the EPK that are not going to, I mean, it's just not going to be that long, but it's like, well, make sure you have obviously your signature programs, any, and what, like where you've spoken, all that kind of stuff. Like, is there a thing like that, or am I missing something?
No, that's a great question. No, you're not missing anything. And speaker info kits, design wise, mine is a bit lengthy because I have a very illustrious career and I have a lot of credentials in there that at this stage in the game. See, the game I'm playing is $50,000 to $100,000. Now, if you want that kind of money, then you gotta pull out all the stops, and that's exactly why you see that in my speaker info. I'm dealing with corporations. Corporations, they don't play games. They will spend the money on the value, but you got to show it to them, and that's why mine is so long. Now, also, when my web designer It takes my website to another level, which is going to be over the next couple months. We are going to break the speaker info kit up into sections. See, that's the full speaker info kit, but I'm gonna break it up into sections. I'm gonna have KTR speaker one sheet. I'm gonna have one page that's gonna be a meeting planners. They're gonna have a field day going to the one page on the website. They're gonna be able to click on they're gonna break it out. If you just want my one sheet, you can click on it. If you just want reasons to hire KTR, that's about 4 pages. They can click on that, right? If you want all of my signature programs, you can click on them individually. So I'm gonna have some of it broken up, but I'm gonna tell you, let me answer the question, because that's a great question. Your speaker info kit doesn't need to be 26 pages like mine is. There's a reason why mine is 26 pages. Because see, I don't have time to do a bunch of talking. I make it easy for them. So this is a must-have, Sam. You don't need a cover sheet like mine. That's just a preference. You could put a cover sheet on it if you want. Then the second sheet on my speaker info kit, if any of you went to you'll see the speaker one sheet. Obviously, you need the one sheet. That's just a little snapshot of everything you offer. The next thing is going to be the bio. That's why we have you do the bio and the signature programs first. Must have are all 4 of your signature programs broken out individually. Must haves are going to be any press or media coverage that you've gotten, any books that you've written or going to write. Must haves are going to be all of your professional credentials listed in chronological order, your story. You can tag that along. You can do another page with your story. If you have a very unique story, let's say you almost died from a plane crash or something and you survived, like you might want to make that one page, right? And then testimonials for third-party validation and quotes from other people who feel great about your service. Or it's like getting a character reference. Maybe you don't have a lot when it comes to speaking, but maybe you do have a lot about the type of leader that you are. Maybe you do have a lot about them working with you, co-workers in the past, people in management positions that speak very highly of you. We do it on LinkedIn all the time with LinkedIn recommendations. You need to take one of those LinkedIn recommendations, put a thumbnail of their picture, and then put the quote right there, or reach out to them through LinkedIn and say, hey, could you give me a quote, how you feel about my services? See, when it's on LinkedIn, it's just real generic. Oh, they endorse you for marketing. They endorse you for speaking. You know what? Send them a message and say, how do you feel about my services? What is it that made you click that button? People do that to me all the time. I never asked them to endorse me for marketing. But I like to, I'm curious, well, what do you think about marketing? Well, obviously they see my ads. They see my LinkedIn profile. So there's a lot of must-have, Sam. And I'm gonna tell you like this, don't even think about going light on your speaker info kit, because half-ass speaker info kit equals half-ass money. How about that, Sam?
I get it.
No. Say that again, I'm sorry.
No, I said I get it. I was just trying to make sure that like I understood all of the elements that were required to make it a strong speaker info kit. Like
you want to make it strong? You want to make it strong? Over deliver. See, everybody, see, Sam, people say this shit to me all the time. I have speaker friends. Oh, KTR, I'm not really sure if I understand what you're doing. Like, I've never seen you with the same thing on. I got a brand. Don't worry about what I'm doing. There's a reason behind it. Do you see Beyonce or Jay-Z in the same thing? Do you see any celebrity? That is a cardinal sin in the industry. Never wear the same thing twice. Unless it's part of your uniform. Football players wear the same thing, baseball players. They're a team. Yeah, see, watch this, Sam. Today, I'm playing for the front of my jersey, not the back. It ain't about me. This is about speaker focus. This is about family. But that people ask me all the time, KTR, you're doing too much. Am I? Well, guess what? Doing too much allows me not to say one damn word prior to people getting on the call with me. Because guess what, Sam? They can Google me. Oh, shit, this is his personal website. Let me go here. Oh, let me click on that. Damn. See, I don't have to say how great I am. But 52nd Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi, thinks I'm a pretty dope leadership speaker. Billionaire Kevin Plank from Under Armour thinks I'm a pretty amazing leadership speaker and shares the same mindset. He lives in the same area as me. So that's the reason why I do too much. Watch this. Remember, Sam, when they say you're doing too much, you tell them they ain't doing enough. Sam, you've got to pick every opportunity to over deliver every single time, because you're going to be talking less and you're going to be making more money. That you want to know the reason why? Remember, Sam, we're in a marketplace where everybody's telling you what to do, but very few people have the skill set to show you how to do it. More importantly, tell you the reason why. I'm telling you why you need to be over delivering with your speaker info kit. Now, Sam, it don't need to be 20 pages long. It just need to get the job done. So how about we don't even put a number on it? How about you just put everything in there that you feel like need to be in there, and you send it to me, and I'll tell you if it's light. And if it is, I say, Sam, could you add this and add that? That's all I'm going to say. Because I like the design of what you sent me already. Without overthinking it, it just doesn't need to be light. And when I say light, I'm not looking at it from your perspective or my perspective. I'm looking at it from, does this get the job done with the person who's going to write the check? That's why my speaker info kit looks the way it does, because I think like the meeting planner. Okay. KTR wants $50,000 for a keynote. You know what they're thinking? Okay. Because there's so much bullshit they have to put up with these prima donna speakers who ask for a lot of money. Sam, you know how many times I've heard a meeting planner? I've been in the meeting. I've been in the ballroom with them. I've been outside by the bathroom. I've been out by the bar. You know how many times I've heard the meeting planner, after they just paid somebody $30,000 to $50,000 for telling some fake ass story that made everybody feel good, that they'll never hire that speaker ever again. And I'm not going to mention those celebrities' names, but I've heard that a lot. Like the look of pain on their face. You know why? Because now they got the people in their membership coming over to them complaining. Your job is to make that meeting planner look like a rock star. So you want them to come over and say, damn, hey, listen, Ms. Johnson, KTR bought the pain at the national conference. Damn, where did you find him from? Outstanding job. The food was great. The speakers, not just me, because a smart meeting planner who spends money at the $5,000 to $10,000+ level, they already know they got their ass on the line and their reputation on the line. So they're not going to hire you if they feel some bullshit. That's another reason why I over deliver on every single facet. Now, that over delivering means you still got to be simplistic. But see, Sam, when I'm instructing you to do this, when the meeting planners they're looking for certain information. They need to find the information in 10 seconds. Everybody, I want you to do a test. When you go to KevinTRobertson.com, I want you to click on the website. Me and Austin literally sat in Austin's dining room and we went through every single page, every single tab. On my main page to my website, you can locate all the main ingredients to book me to speak in 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Soon as you go there, you see logo, leadership strategies and magnify success, America's leading focus expert. Click here to book a call. Increase your employee engagement with KTR. Next thing, speaker video demo, flies in from the left. Next thing under that, speaker info kit. 10 seconds. Because I want to get the money, Sam, and I want to get the money I want to get. I don't want them giving me what they want me to have. Am I being clear?
Yep.
Sam, they say I talk too rough. I had a prospect tell me today, she doesn't like my tone. She says, I make her feel defensive. I said, I'm not making you feel any kind of way. Maybe you can't handle my kind of truth. And I told you that at the beginning of the call, and you still got pissed off. Sam, this shit ain't for everybody. Now, the ones that want to do the work like you, they show up and get the guidance. Everybody else, they can go sit their ass down somewhere because they are low-fee speakers and they don't understand how this game works. You want to know the truth about this business? Talk to somebody who's immersed in it every single day. Don't listen to people who talking shit on the internet. I remember they was laughing at me in Austin when we were running. They were laughing on our Facebook page when the pandemic first came out. They said, you guys ain't nobody ain't nobody booking no speaking engagement. It's the pandemic. You dumbass. All these meeting planners pivoted because they had to. They had heat on their back. They couldn't just pull the plug and stop doing meetings. You better figure out a way with this $2,500 for this membership fee, this $500 a year that I'm paying. You better figure out a way for me to get my continuous education credits. You better figure out a way for me to get nonstop support and continuous learning. You better figure out a way for us to have this meeting. I don't give a damn if we face-to-face. That's what we got technology for. And this is how the game has pivoted and how it's turned into something totally different that benefits you. Golden triangle system, Sam, speaking, coaching, and consulting. It's so easy to hit the high 6 and 7 figures if you're doing all 3 of them. But if the speaking, when you focus on speaking, it's automatically going to raise the visibility of everything else that you're doing. I talk firsthand, Sam. I don't have time to be talking on my ass. I got too much responsibility. And I got too many people just trusting me and Austin with their speaker dream. And that's the reason why. It's always a reason why. Sam, just over-deliver on your speaker info kit. Your design was amazing. Your credentials are amazing. Just drop everything in there and send it over to me. And let me tell you, Sam, it's thin. Because honestly, Sam, you're gonna try to talk yourself out of it. Because you know how you are, Sam. You're your worst enemy. Over-analyzing. Oh, I think 10 pages is enough. I don't know. 10 may be enough. Send it to me and let me support you. How's that sound?
Okay, sounds good. And then so you're going down the path that my brain is going down, because like when you get to, well, the first couple of modules are straightforward. You're coming out of there with a bio and your 4 signature programs. Then like module 3 is like all business stuff. So if you have your business form, not a big deal. But then like module 4, like I almost feel like I got to put together a checklist of all of the other things to make sure that I'm hitting them the way that I'm supposed to, because there's like the short form bio that's in there. I don't know if anyone else has all of the things like already outlined and they check them off, but like I feel like I have to go back through and create the list to make sure that I'm hitting all of them.
Okay.
And then the other thing is like the contract or the agreements, right?
Yeah.
That's another big deliverable coming out of it. It's a Word document. Like Austin's pretty big in technology. Like, is he using like another like electronic form instead of the Word document? I was curious about that too.
Yeah, well, you could do that. I mean, we have that for our onboarding document for through DocuSign. So yeah, you definitely can you can set up if you have a DocuSign account or a any other kind of electronic doc account, you can definitely send it out through that. Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. But some meeting planners are still old school. They don't care how they get it. Somebody told me last week to fax them something. I laughed at them. I was like, fax? I don't have no fax machine. I'll scan it and I'll send a PDF back over to you. But I mean, it's all kinds of ways to get the job done. As long as you get it done, everybody has a preference. We're just here to give you the baseline. Whatever you're comfortable with, that's what you should do.
Right. Okay. And then the other thing is throughout the module, you kept referencing, I mean, obviously the messaging is super important, but that we should take a copywriting course. I mean, I'm not taking it now, but is there one that you're recommending that we take in order to like, amp up our messaging capability?
Yeah, I'm telling all of you right now, I don't earn any money off of this, but you need to sign up for Jasper. It's an artificial intelligence copywriting software. It is the hottest thing in the marketplace. You plug in what you needed to do, and it has all these templates in there. You plug it in there, and it'll spit out copy for you, non-plagiarized copy, within a matter of seconds. I recommend if you want to get better at writing copy, that's what you. Yeah, you know what? If you want to learn how to write copy, you need to get Jasper. All you got to do is Google it. This is Jasper.
Okay.
It's copywriting software, artificial intelligence for copy. So I recommend you do that because it takes all the guesswork out. Because I can't tell you, Sam, how many people struggle with it's jasper.ai, by the way. I just want to make sure I got it right, jasper.ai. So Sam, it just literally takes all the pain out of your copywriting. Now, Sam, I learned the hard way. I probably spent 25 to 30K with copywriting. I took Steve Harrison's copywriting for media. I probably dropped 10 G's on that. I took a whole lot of them. I hired RJ Garrison, publicist out of California. He's a publicist to a lot of celebrities, Kim Basinger and a whole bunch of other celebrities. So I learned how to write great copy to pitch myself to the media. Why do you think I'm so good at this? Why do you think the phraseology comes out? Now, I'm a naturally gifted writer, but I know, listen, we got blue check verified celebrities joining our platform every single month. They're still horrible at writing copy. We got New York Times best-selling authors, Amazon International best. I don't give a shit where you come from. People with 10 to 30 plus years worth of professional experience who we onboarded to this platform, and we got them all. We just onboarded a couple TEDx speakers. That is not the pinnacle of your career. Your ass is still lost too. I'm talking about legions of coaches and consultants. Everybody's trying to position their offer, and their lead magnet is weak, Sam. What is that? What is the first thing I see when I go to your website? Copy. You can't do shit in the world of managing a sales funnel without writing copy. Sam, they've been doing this for years. Years in Madison Avenue. They literally had writers sit in a room and come up with these slogans. Have a Coke and a smile. Have a Coke and a smile. 6 words. That shit made billions of dollars. So you go into Jasper.ai, set up your account. They have all these different templates, and you got to go in there and play around with it. But Sam, it will literally, watch this. You can say, I teach leadership and I'm in a management position, and I want to deliver value to managers to teach them how to do da, 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 da. It literally will whip up the opening paragraphs and the call to actions and the bullets for you. Now, you do have to go in and tighten it up just a little bit. But what they give you for the baseline of what you need to be writing and putting copy out there, see, watch this. They give you sellable and bookable marketing language. This shit is amazing. It's the fastest growing, it's one of the fastest growing software companies in the history of the internet. They're on fire. Now, I know how to write my own, but anytime I got a lot of copy to write, I just run it through Jasper. Bloop, spit out one. Austin ain't got time for that. Boom, let me go ahead and whip this up real quick. One sentence is all he needs. Let me copy and paste that, snatch it out, boom. Yo, Kev, the new email that I just sent out to our list, bro, this is one of the most highly converting of all the ones. See, we keep track of the metrics and the data. Metrics and data. Austin analyzes this shit every single day. I feed him what's going on the front lines. I say, Austin, this area code is horrible. This country is not converting at a high level. I can't close anybody from there because they can't handle the conversion rate from this into there. I'm not going to even say the country because I don't want to offend anyone. But some of the countries, their dollar is just not strong. And when we convert it from USD to their dollar, it's just too much for them. So therefore, I'm not going to be able to convert them. Now, so you have to understand that, because your messaging is going to a very specific target market. Now, if you want to pick up some books on copywriting, then read, pick up some audio programs, do whatever you need to do, but ain't nothing going to make your job more easy than Jasper. I can tell you that right now. I'm a world-class copywriter. So is Austin. We're two of the best in this industry. Anybody run a multi-million-dollar software, they can tell you, ask them what their number one skill is, Sam. It line them all up, because we're friends with all of them. We talk to them all the time. You ask Sam Oven what his number one skill is. You ask Alex Becker what his number one skill is. You ask Ty Lopez. You ask Grant Cardone. You ask what's my man's name? I can't remember. I can't forget. Oh, Dan Locke. I'm sorry. That's one of my favorite Asian brothers. Dan Locke. Ask all of them. Number one skill in this game is copywriting, because the guys that know how to write copy, and the women, because there's a whole lot of women that know how to do it too, that copy converts the prospect into revenue. And if you're not good at it, this is why we hear complaints every single day. Austin is right there in Austin, Texas. That's a tech hub, one of the three largest tech hubs in the world. And there's people bitching and complaining every single day that their sales funnel ain't converting. You know why? Because their copy's horrible on the landing page. Not only that, the way the design of their curriculum is weak. The offer that you have on the strategy call is weak. The follow-up is weak. Your email drip sequence is weak. That's why the shit don't work, Sam. So I'm telling you again, I'm not pulling stuff out of my ass. Everything I know about digital marketing and conversion rates and sales funnel management, I learned from Austin. That's why copywriting is your number one skill, Sam. Get Jasper to change your life.
Got it. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Sam. Do you have any other questions?
Nope, that was it.
Okay, let's go to Lisa Allman Baldwin. I love saying her name so much. I love her so much. Lisa Allman Baldwin, how are you this evening? Talk to me, Lisa.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you loud and clear.
Okay. How are you?
How does it sound like I am today?
Well, you're on fire for one thing. You just lighting us up tonight. That's for sure.
Let me tell you something. There's so many breakthroughs that are going on in my life right now, and I'm starting to feel better about my mom passing away.
Right.
And I just feel grateful. I just feel grateful. That's all I got to say. I just feel really, really grateful. But go ahead, Lisa. What's your question or comment?
Okay, so I have kind of a follow-up question and then a win. So for the Microsoft, the first training date, the rep emailed me back and she said what date she wanted, which is basically 2 weeks from now. And in her last email to me, she said I should have something to you before the holiday. So I take that to mean that they're using their own contract form, which I wouldn't expect anything less since it's Microsoft. So my question is, since we're 2 weeks off and she does have the outline of what I was going to talk about, but since I need to work on it and practice it, should I go ahead and send her the pre-programmed questionnaire so that she has that? Okay.
Yes, that's a very good, that question comes up a lot through support. When should we utilize the pre-programmed questionnaire? When you know you have your engagement all locked in, whether or not you're getting a fee or not, and you are leveraging a great opportunity like you are, you should send the pre-programmed questionnaire out right around the time when you send out the engagement agreement. And I do want to back up a little bit, Lisa. And you didn't say anything about it, but maybe some people are wondering, and I do need to bring this up, that because that'll come up a lot, that should we use their agreement or should we use my in-house speaker engagement agreement? Now we have a very sound legal document that we provide for you on our platform. Me and Austin's attorney, my longtime friend, and he's like family to me, more like an attorney for the last 34 years. His name is Ward White. He's lead counsel to 4-time Grammy Award winner Erykah Badu, as well as a host of other celebrities. So Ward literally created that. That is my speaker engagement agreement I've been using for damn near my entire career.
Right.
So
if
for some reason they don't want to sign your agreement, and don't get bent out of shape about it, because sometimes it's necessary for you to sign their agreement because that's part of their procurement process. If you can ask them, you can say, hey, well, I need you to sign mine as well. I don't like creating friction in this case. The government used to do that to me all the time. They would say, oh, no, KTR, we're not signing your agreement, but you're going to sign ours.
Right.
So it's one of these kind of situations where if you want the money, what difference does it make as long as you got an agreement in place? And if you read it, hopefully it's not a lot of legal jargon in there.
Right.
But
I'm not worried about signing their agreement. I mean, and just the whole way that they had their diversity supplier system, for all the stuff you had to put in there.
Yeah.
I totally expect that they were going to send an agreement. So I'm not worried about that. But I just wanted to know if, since we're 2 weeks out from the date that I'm doing the first training, if I should go ahead and send the pre-programmed questionnaire, and especially since it's a Thanksgiving holiday, so maybe she can get it back to me by Wednesday. It'll just add a little more information for me, but she and I have pretty much talked through everything before anyway. But then I also since she's going to be putting me in touch with other people, I'm assuming that at some point she's probably also going to send that agreement out over to other people, not necessarily for this training. So other people will see what kind of, because you have it very detailed of what's in there. So they will see what kind of information, we're adding, same as sending her what the rates were, even though I was waiving my fee this time, they're all going to know. So that's all I wanted to know about that. I didn't have any concerns about it.
Yeah, it's a good idea to send the speaker the pre-programmed questionnaire out right now. That's enough lead time, because that document it's funny, Lisa. I was talking to a speaker the other day, and she asked me, she said, Kevin, I'm just it was a prospect. She wasn't in the coaching program yet, but she said, I want to know why I'm bombing. Like I'm going. She said, I was in front of these older white guys, and she's a woman of color, and she's like in her 30s, and she said, I'm getting in front of all these managers who are white, and I went in there and bombed. It's like I didn't feel like they made a connection with me. I said, well, that's the speaker's worst nightmare. I said, well, did you send over some type of pre-programmed questionnaire? The lady, she said, what's that? I said, well, it's a document that you send over, and it literally checks off what's the ratio of male to female, right? What's the level of education? What's my dress attire? Like where is the event going? Are we doing anything prior to the event? Like all these little details are in there. What's their level of education? That's important. Am I dealing with a bunch of people with PhDs, or am I dealing with some frontline employees who work the floor on a manufacturing plant? I have to meet these people right where they are. And if you don't know your audience, you're gonna be in trouble. So that's another thing too, is when they send you back over the pre-programmed questionnaire, when I get that back and I read it, these are a couple final questions that I have right before the engagement, Lisa. This is one question I always ask no matter what. Are there any sensitive areas or any sensitive things going on in your organization that I absolutely need to stay away from?
Yeah, I have that in there too. That question in there. Yeah.
Yeah. I always ask that, because whatever that is, I'm going to make sure I don't mention it not one time.
Right.
Because that's a fast way, surefire way where they ain't going to ask you back.
Right. Exactly.
Yep.
Okay. So that was my question about that. But the good thing is, she gave me the date, because they were trying to decide which date for that first training, and we already had the second one for January.
You're rolling.
Set up.
You're rolling. That's going to bear fruit in 2023, and we already know that. So I'm just happy that you laid the foundation the right way, and very proud of the way you've managed the situation thus far.
Thank you. Okay, and then the second thing was kind of a win, and you'll probably have some comments on it. So last Monday, I was telling you I had a strategy call the next day with someone who was a company founder on several different boards. So I had that with him, went very well. And it's so funny you just mentioned Africa, because he's living a nomad life like I am, but right now he's living on a sailboat in Cape Town. Running all his businesses. But basically we had a really good conversation. I'm just looking through the notes here. He has 2 startups with his wife, who's also his business partner. He's refounding a business, and that's the one that he's been the chair and the executive chair, sits on a few boards. And so he was very interested in my different signature programs. And then basically we got around to the issue he was having, is that one of the businesses where he sits on the board, he has a female CEO who she started out in like a middle management position, but then when the former CEO and everything of the company, there was a big blow up and people left, and she got elevated to the CEO role, but he said she's really young and she's still kind of inexperienced. So the problem that he's having is she's got people under her who are a lot older and have more experience, and there's trust issues, and one doesn't respect the other and all this other stuff.
Oh, listen, he's singing like a canary already.
Right. So he and he has a lot of experience with that, because he kind of does, that same training consultant speaker triangle. But what he said that he was thinking is bringing someone in who was outside of the company to help her, because he thinks that would be more effective than him trying to do it, since he's involved with the company. So
third-party validation, Lisa.
What's that?
Third-party validation.
What do you mean by that?
The reason why a CEO or a manager or the HR director. The reason why somebody brings in a speaker from the outside is because when you work with somebody every single day, they don't listen to you anymore.
Okay.
Not listening to the executives. They're not listening to the managers. We're in the shit together. Ain't nobody listening to nobody no more. This is why the outside consultant, the outside specialist, the outside subject matter expert, the outside leading authority, the outside coach, the outside consultant. That's why the government does, they don't really do business with internal employees. They hire subs to come in because the subs know exactly what's going on. When all these Middle Eastern companies, they need to go to the West to get this kind of technology. When they want to build Dubai, they go hire the biggest construction companies in the world that know how to work on multi-billion-dollar projects, and they give them a big ass bag and have them go, they pay for all their housing. They're living their life over there because they live in the desert. They don't know how to build shit. So you got to go get a consultant. That's third-party validation. See, if you understand this business, you'll understand that the guy is looking to bring somebody in to help support the woman who's struggling right now. I'm listening.
Yeah. So that, yeah, and that's what he said. So he gave me, he didn't tell me how old she was, but he did tell me her first name. And anyway, so he was saying, I'm looking at the notes here. Let's see. She came into the company 5 to 7 years ago as a mid-manager position, but when the business imploded, everyone left. She got elevated CEO, but she needs work. Then he told me about
business imploded, huh?
Those were his words.
Yeah, okay, that's not unusual. Go ahead.
Right. He said she has 3 reports under her. One is new and needed a lot more remedial support than that CEO thought. The other 2 have been.
I love the words you're writing down. Remedial.
Well,
I'm sorry, Lisa.
This is what he said. And then he said the other 2 have been in the business longer than her, and they have lots of knowledge, which is good. And then he said one is very slow moving, so there's a lot of tension. And with the other, their personality issues, they never gelled from the beginning, doesn't respect her as CEO.
They hate each other, Lisa. They hate each other. There's medicine in your message. Lisa comes in with her signature programs and teaches more self-worth, self-value, and self-love. And now the bickering starts coming down because the only way that a person is going to change their behavior is you've got to threaten their life or their livelihood. Okay. That's it. And I'm not saying that we're going to make threats to somebody to change, but that's the only time a person makes change. When they feel like, well, damn, if I don't do this about my weight or this, I'm gonna have a shorter life. That scares the shit out of you. Then you do something about it. Or, damn, if I don't take this training, Lisa, do you know how many times I've done public seminars and on-site trainings where there's been a long list of people that they have to come over to my desk when they are finished with that class that I just taught, and they have to get their paper signed by the instructor. Because if they don't take this class to fix the shit attitude that they have, they get fired. See, some states are not an immediate fire state. It depends on what state you're in. Some states you get 1, 2, 3 strike rule. You give a chance before you just start firing people. You have to give them the option. You have to offer them training so you can see behavioral modification. And that's where the change really occurs. But it starts with your signature programs. See, this is beautiful. Hey, listen, Mike Tomlin is the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? One of my past clients. So Mike Tomlin says, the opposition, Lisa, they love it when you got problems. They love it when you're all discombobulated because they feed off of it. If you don't have your shit together out on that field, you're going to lose. And the opponent takes advantage of it. I love it when the companies don't have themselves together, because my professional speaking services and coaching and consulting, it helps them develop a new mindset. It helps them clarify their goals. I help them organize their focus. That's all you need to do. See, this call you needed this call, Lisa. Have I been telling you that this is how these people think the whole time?
Yes, sir.
Now you're getting it firsthand. This guy literally was telling you everything. Now, it's something else to be learned from this. Did you ever stop to think, why was he giving you so much information? When he was questioning why he should even get on the call with you. Remember that?
Right, because he said I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but you reached out, so I wanted to talk to you. That's what he said.
Okay, and then he go, okay, now, why? Why do you think he gave you all of that?
Because he's interested, and since he does this kind of the same type of work, he sees the value in what it would bring for his companies that are kind of struggling.
Okay, well then there you go. Then where does that leave you? Then how did the conversation end?
Well, let's see. So this is the next thing I was going to ask you. He asked me if I was familiar with OKR, which I wasn't. He said he believed it came from Google a few years ago, but it's often used as a substitute for KPI. And then he explained KPI as like
performance indicators.
Okay, I didn't know what that was, but he said this is the way he explained it to me. He said, if you think of KPI as like the dashboard of the car where you have all your systems set up and you can see everything.
Yep.
And then the OKR is like you're looking through the windshield at where you're going, like your objectives and everything cascades down from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Clearly, he's a systems guy. And when you're looking at key performance indicators, I mean, we have all those little self-checks like that. I mean, all me and Austin do is we check all those little indicators every single day. If sales are down, if I'm not performing at a higher level, then it all has an impact on everything else. So all those things are important. The fact that he's a systems guy and he's talking to you like that lets you know that when you tweak or customize your signature programs, mm-hmm. then you should really be paying attention to all of his pain points. That's all he wants. He understands how the game works.
Okay,
he understands how it works.
Okay, because I did, like I said when we were talking, I kept telling him, everything's customized. And then the other thing he said, he even asked me, he said that before he came on to one of these companies that he's now on the board and everything, he said they weren't doing any kind of performance or 360 reviews. And so he said he was able to introduce that. And so he asked me, he said, so, in your experience, what do you think about that, about having performance reviews along the way? So I just kind of told him from my personal experience, I said from, when I've worked at companies and, what I felt the benefits were to me to have, regular reviews and not just having goals and metrics. And then you get to the end, 6 months later and they tell you everything that you should have done or didn't do or what have you. So right. he was very, he could tell he really wanted my opinion. So he would ask me a question and then he would sit there and listen. And so anyway, so I just kept reiterating over and over kind of, everything comes down to communication and better ways to facilitate that and how you can do, intermediary reviews. And then also I had put some ideas in front of him about how, I can't remember what the question was he asked me, but basically what I commented on where I thought each of those people might be coming from, so the older people with more experience and, they're pissed off because they have this, little girl or whatever, however they're thinking, that's over them and the other way around. And I just did I remember in my head, I heard what you were saying that you've said to all of us before about talking from our experience. And so I just rolled it all the way around to 30 years ago when I was 20 something and, how I felt when this, that, and the next thing. And he just sat there and listened. And he said, well, I'm very, very interested. He said I was fine for me to send him the follow-up materials. He wasn't ready to make a follow-up appointment yet, but
and that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because at least you had the call with him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he said he was going to think about it and he would get back to me. And I said, I would send him everything over, and I did. And I sent an email, thanked him for his time and everything. And I said, if I don't hear from you in maybe a couple of weeks, I'll swing back around. But anyway, that was a win I wanted to tell you about. That's
win. And you know what? You should reach out to him at least one time just to say happy holidays. Right. See how he's doing. One thing about it, remember, Lisa, you don't have the communication advantage with the same sex, but you do have it with the opposite sex. Men get very comfortable sharing when they're speaking to a woman on the phone, especially a woman who has value and they want to do business with. And that's the reason why you could tell he was vibing with you, because you take a person like him, this high profile, that understands how to do this at a very high level, understands he sits on a lot of boards, understands he's doing stuff. He understands these key things at the top that make money, but he also understands the challenges that are happening right now.
Mhm.
You know, he already had a company implode from the inside out. Not an explosion. He said implosion.
Right.
And then you're dealing with multiple, you know, communication challenges. Remember, 82 to 97% of your problems in the workplace stem from ineffective communication, block
Right.
communication, low levels of communication, miscommunication, ineffective communication, or flat out none at all. That's what they're dealing with. So I offer communication-based programs. See, they're leadership-based, but really they're communication-based, because my signature programs help everyone start connecting better, behavioral modification, and anything else that needs to happen. All of that happens by way of your 4 signature programs. So again, check in on them. Joe, I see your hand up. I'll be right with you. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. Check in with them before the end of the year.
Mhm.
I would definitely, this was a great call. See, a lot of times, even when they're not ready to do business now, you still planted the seed. He
Right.
still accepted your sales tools, like I taught you.
Mhm.
He accepted all your marketing collateral. He's going to take a look at it. And you can just follow up with him and keep him in your CRM and just create multiple touch points. At the beginning of the year, the next conversation is, so Mr. Such and Such, what would a next step look like with you if we were to discuss a potential training program to help alleviate some of the challenges or remedy some of the challenges that you're facing in your organization? What would that next step look like? And let him tell you what it would look like. Well, Lisa, what I'm thinking is, and you may have to keep developing your relationship with him some more. Here's another thing about posting on LinkedIn. Now that you're connected with him on LinkedIn, are you posting on a consistent basis so he can see? See, now you're on his radar now, but are you going to stay on it? Are you feeding the machine? Are you giving him content based upon what he told you? Are you sending him information that he knows that you're really in tune with his problem?
Mhm.
That you care about it, that you
Right.
want to help them solve it?
Gotcha.
See, I'd be sending them videos. I'd be saying, hey, Mr. Such and Such, hey, you know, I was thinking about the challenge that you said about the young woman. You know, I was thinking about that a lot of companies are really struggling with X right now, and perhaps yours is too. But I was thinking one thing that I got from our conversation, I think one thing to be very helpful for you would be, and then just give them like a 2 or 3 minute something about leadership that has value and say, hey, hope that was helpful. I'll be talking to you again real soon. Happy holiday season to you and your family. Bloop, and you're out. Building relationships. I call
Mhm.
it layering. You're layering all this value. One conversation, after one video, after an email, after every little bit of communication, all of it stacking up. He sees you on Instagram now. He sees you on LinkedIn. Oh, damn, Lisa just dropped a video on YouTube. You're going to catch them on one of those platforms. That's why you should be posting on all the platforms every single week,
Right. I
because
am
you
doing
don't
that.
know when you're going to catch them. And you definitely should be posting on LinkedIn, man. It just has so much organic reach. You
Yeah, I
just
am
don't
doing
know.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, we get caught up on likes too much. Don't worry about the likes. LinkedIn will show you how many impressions that you got right there on your post.
Mhm.
And watch this. If you post some value, especially about the conversation, see, it will be so easy for him to say, damn, Lisa's on it. Like if you really post a long form article about communication in the workplace,
Mhm.
he's gonna know that you understand. Damn, you know what? Now I feel comfortable hiring her. You know what? That lady Lisa Almond Baldwin that I talked to, damn it, she gets it. She understands it. I need some third-party validation. He might be able to go in and do it himself,
Right.
But he knows the value of bringing somebody in from the outside. You are there to reinforce the company's goals. Keep everybody on track with the vision and mission statement. You got any other questions or comments?
And no, that was it. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it.
Very well. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing and enjoy your holiday season coming up. You've earned it.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. You're very welcome. Okay, let me see. Joe. Is Joe? Yeah, Joe. Joe, talk to me, bro.
My man, how we doing?
Man, I'm doing super fantastic. Love one of the posts that you had.
Course,
you speaking on stage. I think it was your IG.
Yeah, it was on Instagram. I'm gonna kind of start. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. Really means a lot. Saw your comment. Appreciate that. I'm gonna start kind of parsing out when I just actually decided this today. Usually I'll go IG and then I'll immediately post it on LinkedIn. I think I'm gonna try and like segment out. So like post that one on IG today, and then maybe 1 or 2 weeks later, post that one on LinkedIn. And because you'll have crossover followers and stuff, and posting content that way. So I'm still systematizing the marketing stuff, but right now it's just quantity, as much content as we can. I have some videos of me behind camera will turn into reels. So just, Monday through Thursday, Monday through Friday, as much as possible, trying to post. I want to go, first of all, Lisa, absolutely huge. Love hearing your wins. Keep it up. You're crushing it. It's good to hear you on here and hope everyone else is doing well. I want to kind of actually go off of Lisa's point. My question is more about, nurturance, right? So 2 types of nurturance, right? Let's say one of the things we'll have is, let's say we set up a discovery call with someone off of a cold call or off of a cold email, and maybe they'll miss that meeting. They'll ghost the meeting, which is always unfortunate. We try to obviously qualify on the front end so that doesn't happen. But those types of leads, KTR, as well as maybe leads that we've, saw through LinkedIn or through cold calls, we've talked to them. Yes, they bring in speakers. Yes, they have needs around different areas. Is how to just continue to nurture those leads to, eventually get them on a discovery call. Right. But really just to nurture them, right? As opposed to, calling into them again or sending them an email and being like, you want to talk. And so what I garnered from the conversation with Lisa, and I know we certainly have to do a better job of this, is posting content, right? More of that. But then also, hey, if I know someone's bringing in a speaker or wants a speaker around mental health or leadership or, in the college space, alcohol awareness, sending them specific content around that, whether it be of our speakers talking about that, whether it be articles and just value pieces, is kind of what I garnered from Lisa's conversation, but would kind of love for you to elaborate on that if I'm on the right track there, and your thoughts around nurturing warm leads.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let's break it down in several stages. Let's talk about nurturing cold, warm, and hot prospects. All right.
Perfect.
It doesn't take much to get the hot prospect over the line because they see the value. And that may be in the top 20% of leads that you are working with. And then that 80, you're going to have that cold or you're going to have that warm. Yep. So I have them in these categories in my mind. And watch this. It's not every lead, but some leads do require like a personal touch with a text message.
Sure. Yeah.
It's just something that I do. Like they may tell me something in the call. So watch this. I just onboarded 2 students. They paid a big chunk of money to come into our coaching program, and both of them were sick. I sent a personal text to both of them before they paid their invoice, because one of them had to wait about 4 or 5 days and gave me a date. Hey, on the 22nd, I can pay my invoice. So I sent her 2 texts because she said she had a migraine. I said, the next morning, I said, I hope you feel better. I hope you're resting over the weekend. And then the other one, the same thing. She told me something about her dog had to go to the hospital. So I sent her a message about the dog. Bro, it's just adding a personal touch. And you think you don't have time for this, but you should make time for it, because now what's happening is they're saying, damn, I'm giving somebody my money and I'm making an investment in somebody who actually cares. And then, bro, every opportunity I get, I remove it feeling like it's transactional.
Yep.
Every opportunity. So here's what I do with cold prospects, right? Cold prospects, obviously, when you have a really strong email outreach, set up the subdomain through Gmail so it doesn't wind up in this, the whole campaign doesn't wind up in the spam folder, and you have higher open rates. If you can get anywhere from 8 to 12% open rate, you're doing great, right? If you really know what you're doing, you could be like Auston and get like Austin's open rates are ridiculous. It's like freaking 60 to 80% open rates. That's just unheard of. But you gotta, if you don't understand how to tweak shit like he does, I don't even know how to tweak that like he does, but that's not my job. That's his job. That's why we're business partners. But Auston, that's why you need to send in a support ticket so Auston can tell you what you're doing wrong. Hey, Auston, how do I increase my open rate? What can I do? It may be your copy. Again, if your copy's horrible, they ain't opening shit.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're not prompting me to open it up. So this is what I do to cold email outreach. So oh shit, Auston just put in there 91% open rate currently.
Oh my goodness.
Auston,
that's ridiculous.
Bro, he's always running these new campaigns, and that's at scale. So that's an email drip sequence that's going out on a loop continuously, nonstop, every single day with a couple products that we have. Again, man, he wasn't always that good at it, but he's one of the best in the world at it. So that's unheard of. But that's the reason why we run a multi-million-dollar sales funnel, speaker focus, because this guy keeps my calendar full. Joe, if I open up my calendar 24 hours a day, I literally will have purple spaces in there, and it'll be full nonstop every single day.
So KTR, let me ask you about that. Is that's for both the coaching program as well as for potential speaking gigs?
Yes.
Okay. And where are those leads coming from? The cold email outreach that Austin's running? Is it coming from the ads you guys are running to the funnel? I'm sure it's LinkedIn. It's a variety of both.
Okay.
Lead gen sources.
Watch this, Joe. Auston, jump in here real quick for me, please. I got a question to ask you.
Yep.
Okay. All right, Joe, I want you to listen to this very carefully, because you and Auston are around the same age, Joe. You know, and you live in the same area.
Yes, we do.
So listen to this, Joe. I don't give a shit what you're selling. It's all the same system. I don't care if it's coaching services, speaking services, you're selling rubber dog shit out of Hong Kong. It's the same system. So I got Auston on here because I want him to tell you. So Auston, what's the difference between selling coaching and selling speaking? If there's any difference, I want you to hear from him instead of hearing it from me.
It really doesn't matter what you're selling. It's all just solving problems. The reason people buy is they want their problem solved. To answer your question directly, Joe, where we do get leads from everywhere. We get them from Apollo.io. We get them from our ads that we run. We get them from just organic posting on social media. Really, like, all the sources they all drive the business. Now, a majority of our, like, we book like 400 calls a month. And the majority of our calls are like, Kevin had 22 sales calls today. 22.
Jesus.
Yeah. And a majority of our calls are coming from the email list we built up from running ads from Facebook and Google ads, YouTube ads, and then also tapping into Apollo.io. We also have some of our own software that will go out and identify qualified leads on Instagram. So we use that. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a combination.
And the Apollo stuff is you're running, that's the cold outreach stuff. Because I'm investing in Apollo soon as well. Like, you're getting the leads from them and then running cold and booking calls directly off that.
Right.
Okay.
Correct. And Apollo has a filtered list. So again, you should schedule a demo with the rep, and you tell the rep what you need, you know, and that just doesn't go for, again, you know, Auston covers all forms of the digital when it comes to whether or not it's running paid traffic, or whether or not it's running the free organic outreach. Obviously, we want you to get it to convert and start making some money before you start spending any money on paid advertising. But people are crushing it through cold email.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, bro. Email before people figured out the spam problem, you got to be savvy to figure out spam. I'm telling you, this was about 10, 12 years ago. People were constant contact. They were having problems with their email campaigns. This was before HubSpot, before Active Campaign, before all of these hybrid versions of a CRM came out. Man, your shit was going in the spam folder, bro. And it was no way to really fix it unless you really understood this shit at a really, really high level. So that's the reason for the subdomains, because you don't want to burn out your domain sending it. And that's the reason why you got to get on, talk to the rep. If there's something that the rep can't explain to you, then send a support ticket to Auston. But if you got Apollo.io or you're using any of the softwares, they got their own chat, they got their own rep. Talk to your rep and ask them, this is what I need. Watch this, Joe. Same thing goes for a direct mail campaign. I'm getting ready to test. I'm gonna do a small test on local. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. All right. No problem, Auston. So yeah, no doubt. And so as soon as I finish this point, Auston said he had 2 more pieces of insight for Joe. Definitely. That's why I got you on here, because I need him to hear you. So I'm getting ready to test a direct mail campaign for postcards. So I have a fulfillment company that will do it all for me. They'll set up the back end. It's a back end office. They're going to track all of the campaign. The reason why I'm testing it is because I need to be able to understand the difference between that campaign versus everything else that we run. And I haven't tried it in a while, but I do know that other people are getting results from it as I'm talking to the marketplace. And that's the reason why I'm going to test it myself, because I'm getting ready to open up my tour schedule again for 2023. Auston had a couple of insight he wanted to share with you, Joe.
Yeah, I want to keep picking his brain on this too. This is fascinating. Go ahead, Auston.
Yeah, so the reason our email campaigns work so well is because we take a different approach than everyone else does. You're going to see 30%, if you're lucky, open rates. If you don't follow this, if you just do the same strategy everyone else does, just using the same email and blasting all these Apollo leads, you need to use a different approach. You need to load balance your campaigns, and you need to be
Say that
sending.
Again. You need to load what? Say that again.
Yeah, it's called load balance. So rather than sending out tens of thousands of emails a week with one email with one domain, you need to be sending out around 50 emails per day per domain, per email address.
Yeah, and have a shit ton of domains.
Exactly. Yeah,
and have
you need to warm them up.
Warming. Yeah, you have all of them warming.
Exactly. Yeah. So we have over 40 emails constantly sending out emails and being warmed up, and that's the approach you want to take, and you want to be sending from a Google Workspace. Each of them should be a Google Workspace account.
Yeah,
now, another piece
it's like $6 a month for the domains, right?
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. And you're keeping all of them warming, and so the deliverability is high and all that shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And another piece for Apollo, they do a lot of experimentation on their pricing. So when we both go to the pricing page, we're gonna both see completely different offers, most likely. You should do whatever you can to get them to sign a deal for their unlimited account, because we have an unlimited account, and some people say it's not available on the pricing page, but it is if you get if you can talk to the rep and say that's the only way you're signing up, is if you can get with the Apollo unlimited account, and tell them you said you were on your phone and you were on the pricing page and you saw an unlimited deal. Otherwise, they won't sell you that if you don't tell them that you saw it on their website. So those are the two. And then for the email copy, it's really crucial. Don't make sure you have in the bottom of the email, like, if you're not interested, just reply with no or not interested, because Google's going to see that, or all the inboxes are going to see that people are replying to you rather than, their first reaction just marking your email as spam. Because
can you put the
engagement rate
link? You got to be able within Apollo to put an unsubscribe link. Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend doing that. The reason being is Google is going to see a link, or all these inboxes are going to see your emails having links in them. And if it's linking out to an external site, they're going to flag that. You're going to have another mark against your email. I would still recommend like, and you get bonus points for them replying to your email, even if they say like no thanks. It looks like they're engaging with your email, so
Which helps
it looks
everything.
better. Right.
So let me ask you this with the copy, and actually 2 questions here. Well, one, I'm going to submit my copy. I'll be honest, dude. I don't know why I haven't done cold email campaigns. Like, we've built to 6 figures just off of cold calling, which looking back now, I'm like, I'm a fucking idiot. But I'm going to put together some copy and run this. And like, this is going to be a big part of us scaling in the new year. And so Austin, I'll be submitting that copy over the next couple of weeks and that stuff. I guess my question is this. One, like, is it, like, are they booking? You said don't put the Calendly link, it sounds like, in the email. So they're obviously positively responding to the emails. Are they booking right off of the cold email? Is there then like they positively respond and then you guys going to nurture them to a call? It sounds like the cold email is so dialed that they're hopping right on the call, because one of the things that with the cold email we've done and actually won some gigs off of it, it's been more, we've hit them with cold email. They say, yeah, we're interested, but then I have to manually book the call with them, right? So there's like a manual process in there. So I guess with your copy, Austin, like, is there a direct call to action in there where they literally can directly book the call on KTR's calendar, or how does that process work?
Yeah, so you could test both. What we recommend, once your domains are really warmed up, you have I wouldn't add the Calendly link in there until all your domains are warmed up for a while and they're hitting inbox consistently, primary inbox. You can add the Calendly link, because the Calendly domain is very, it has such a great reputation in inboxes where it actually won't penalize your cold emails, because a lot of like legitimate people just add a Calendly link. Now, I wouldn't add that right away. Don't add any links right away until you get your emails warm. Now we're at a point where we've been sending for 3 years straight consistently every day, where we do include our Calendly link in the first email, and 90+% of our bookings happen self-serve, where they just like book the call right from the Calendly link. So honestly, I wouldn't do it unless you've been sending for a while, but the Calendly link is reputable with all the inboxes for legitimate people. Do not put your personal domain links in the email, because that's going to immediately drop into spam, because they're going to be like, and they might even put, hey, you're being sent to an external site that looks suspicious. Like, I just wouldn't add your personal domains. Calendly can be okay.
Gotcha. Perfect. And then second question on this point, I have one more question and I'm good. The other question's for KTR. Austin, is this in the course? Like, this breakdown of the whole cold email stuff, is this in the course? Because I went through module 5 and I saw like the LinkedIn stuff and like the email, like how to nurture the email list and some of the paid ad stuff, but maybe I missed it. There's like 1 or 2 lessons I haven't seen. Is this like how you break down cold email, Apollo, that stuff, some of the systems to be used? Is that stuff in the course? Did I just miss it?
No, so what you saw is just the very simplified approach to book your first 3 gigs a month. Now, to all this advanced stuff like Apollo and warming up all these lists and all warming up all these domains and really scaling your email campaigns, we don't cover that in the actual modules. We kind of just provide the kind of ad hoc support through email and our email support, and then these weekly Q&A calls. But most you're kind of like a more advanced person. Like once you really get to that point where you're ready to scale it up, and I don't recommend anyone doing that until they actually have a good revenue stream coming in and they've done everything else. Like that is just it's kind of like next level, and it kind of requires a lot of time to set up and really scale up, and it requires money too, right? Because you gotta pay for all the domains,
pay for Apollo.
Right? So we recommend people just manually maxing out those manual strategy before moving to this like high scale process. And by the way, you shouldn't do the high scale process until you get messaging dialed in through,
Yeah,
manual
I'm gonna
sending it
run
all.
from like 2 domains
Right.
to
Yeah.
start. I know people who
Yeah.
run from a lot more. I mean, I think I could see results with 2, and then once we're seeing ROI, then I'll scale it up. But I'm gonna run from 2. And then last point on the domains, never send from like your main. Like I have a Joe at ourcompanyname.com. Like don't send from that one, right? Send from basically what I would call burner domains. Would you say that's accurate?
100%. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that is very risky, and you could harm your domain for a very long time just for like legitimate emails. And what I would do is just forward all those other burner domains to your main one. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'll do, like client communication through my main one or send a follow-up email, but not pumping, large numbers a day, because I actually did that early on and had to get it on. I don't know if you're familiar with Woodpecker, and they helped me recover it. Yeah, so that was huge. But yeah, that was, dude, I was KTR. I was like sending contracts and people like weren't getting them there. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Thank you, Austin. I appreciate that. KTR, here's a slightly different question. And I just love to hear your thoughts on this.
Okay, Joe, so hold on. Joe, pause for a second before you ask me that question.
Yep.
Okay. I gotta say this in here, because you see how you just asked Austin that question about technology, right?
Yes.
And there's a lot of people on the platform that try to put the cart before the horse. But Austin knows what he's doing, and I trust him with my life. So that's the reason why we want you to send in the copy for your campaigns, and then because he looks at this stuff every day, man, not just with our business. He analyzes this. Like I assess hundreds and hundreds of speaker profiles. I have to do research for the people who I'm getting on the call with. If the lead doesn't look strong, I cancel it.
Yeah.
Our sales funnel so strong that it automatically replaces the lead that I just deleted. I just listen. So what I'm saying is, if you want to understand how to get your conversion infrastructure right, you have to send in more support tickets, and you have to let this man take a look at it before you put it into the marketplace. Why wouldn't you want to do that?
Yeah.
When any problem that you run into, he's already been slapped on the hand. Facebook has already slapped us on our hand before. We've already had our ad campaign shut down. He's already been in email jail like you have. He's been through all this stuff, bro. He knows every little workaround because he's in it every single day. That's why he's the CTO. This is why I'm the CEO, because the phraseology that you utilize, it converts, bro, and that's where it starts. And then what's your other question?
Well, no, yeah, I mean, basically, Austin, you're going to be getting a lot more support tickets with me, because I'm going to have some time over the next month I'm not going to be sending emails, obviously, around the holidays, but I'm going to be getting this dialed in. So, warm domains, so that the time 2023 hits, we have the copy, we have it going. Let's go test it in the market. Let's tweak it, and let's really get this cold email going. And we add that onto the cold calling stuff that we have going, and it's going to be big, and the LinkedIn stuff. So KTR, a little bit of a unique question here. And I think you're going to think it's a good idea, but I'll just hear your thoughts. So I have, a decent amount of past clients. Let me give you an example. I have a client who runs in the college. These are mostly college clients. Mm-hmm. They run what's called a Greek 101. And so September, October, November, February, March, April, they bring in speakers. We worked with them a couple times last year to bring in speakers. I got on the call with her this August. I had sent her some speakers for the different months, this around hazing prevention, these topics. She booked us for 5 of those 6 months. And so we have a really good relationship. I have a couple of those other clients in the college market. The college market students turn over every year. And so, I have about 5 to 10 clients like that we've worked with. We've sent a couple speakers out. We have good relationships. Knowing that this is a relationship business, I want to do something to almost like a client appreciation event and make it like an annual thing. And so what I'm thinking is, down here in Austin, which I am, a lot of my speakers are, is just inviting those 5 to 10 clients out for like a weekend this summer and doing like the first version of it, calling it like our, top client, exclusive client retreat. They fly in on a Friday. I come out of pocket. I treat them to dinner Friday night. We do some stuff on them for, Saturday. Maybe we, take them through some wellness stuff, all that stuff. They fly out Sunday. I'm sure there's some liability stuff I need to get settled, I have talked to some of those clients and asked them if the schools would be able to cover their travel and accommodation. Another one's in an association. We're working with her in a month. I'll be inviting her as well. Dude, like my plan is, yes, I'd probably be coming out of pocket a couple $1,000s, but I mean, these clients have given us thousands of dollars of business so far. And I want to continue to serve them and build the relationship. And I kind of just see this as a way of giving back to them. And I look at this as a 20, 30, 40-year investment, right? And so, yeah, man, I just would love to hear your thoughts on that. I don't know if that's something you've ever done. You know I asked you a question about even some past clients who we've worked with in the past, re-engaging them, really just coming from a service mindset and seeing what's going on. But that's one way I've just thought of, you know, taking care of my clients who really I have a great relationship with. I know them, they trust me. And it's like, just to, you know, take care of them for a weekend and invest in them and invest in the relationship.
Okay, that's a great question that you asked. And it's oftentimes something that we don't do as a sales team. Like a lot of times you need to go to your existing client base and ask them for repeat business. The business is already there. You have the relationship. They're comfortable. They're willing to spend again. This is a great idea that you have. You could do like one of the things I learned from, I used to contract with the biggest public seminar companies in the world. And this is when all of them were in their prime. That was National Seminars, Skill Path, Fred Pryor, Paget Thompson, Rockhurst University, Johnson & Wales University. That's when I learned the seminar business from the inside out. I took a whole lot less money, but man, they sent me all over the world. And man, did I learn how to become a professional speaker. I learned how to teach, facilitate, and transfer knowledge. Now, what I saw them do, I saw them manipulate the direct mail because they were set up as a nonprofit 501c3. So they literally were sending out massive massive mail campaigns for pennies. I'm talking pennies. It may cost them 2 to 5 cents to send something out. They flooded the market with all these brochures. This is when they were sending a lot of paper before they morphed into something different. A lot of them merged together, but when they were in their prime, man, good God, did they have it on lockdown, bro. So I saw them. How did they do appreciation for all their clients? The buyers of professional speaking services. They would do a showcase. They would have all the speakers. I did like 10 showcases with them. So they would have the speakers come. It would be like 5 sets of 5 speakers. They would do a lunch. They would rent out this big ballroom. You could do it on a smaller scale. And then on the break, you know, lunch was already provided. They would come back. The sales rep would be in charge of certain companies. They did it in a local area. So the companies that were in the area, all they had to do was just drive in, take off, and come look at some of the best talent assembled and take the day off. They called it a speaker showcase, and lunch was on the company. Now, as soon as you came off the stage and finished performing, the sales rep will come right over to you and put the speaker with the client. Because they no other faster way to book speaking engagements than to see your speakers in action. Now, here's the trick. Every time you showcase, you got to showcase something different if you're a speaker. I'm the one that made everybody step their game up because I would come and give a performance. I would literally do something to that audience, break them up into a group. I would use my 15 minutes or whatever time I had to do something different. So think about the service that you're delivering to your client right now and everything that they've seen from your speakers. Well, what new things are your speakers doing? What new ways are they serving the marketplace? How have your speakers thrived to take service to a whole nother level? See, let's go back to something Auston said. The reason why you heard what Auston said, we don't operate our email campaigns like everybody else. And that's why they shit wind up in the spam folder. See, there's a trick. There's a technical side, and then there's the phraseology side. There's the messaging side. So if you don't get that right, if you don't test it, and God knows we've tested. I mean, because you don't get it right on the first go around. You got to test it before that calendar starts getting really, really full. So I'm going to go back to what I said. Think about new ways. Like maybe your client is tired of seeing all your speakers in the light that they've seen them. So now you need to go back to all your speakers and say, hey, listen, man, KTR said something to me on the call the other day that said, how can we
switching it up, baby? We're optimizing it.
How can we take the level of service to another level? How can we do that? What, bro, you need to be, watch this. This is all I think about when I'm on the phone with the prospect. I don't think about closing them. I never think about closing them because I know I have to win by attrition. But this is what I don't have control over that. See, if I do my job and if they got a budget, I'm gonna earn that money. But this is what I do. Nobody's gonna outwork me and over deliver better than me in my space. Nobody. Now, how do I do that? I give away more. See, remember, Joe, watch this, Joe. What's their current situation? How you gonna get them out of that current situation? I don't care if you got a relationship with them or not. Then have you identified what their problem? That means if you actually talk to the client, not all this feel good shit because you got a great relationship. See, that's just taking it for granted. And all due respect, Joe, that makes you feel comfortable. If you actually called the client, again, I'm talking about, listen, we got a great relationship with you guys. Nothing's wrong. I'm just calling to see how we could deliver value to at a higher level. You know, one thing I've been doing with my speakers, let's say for instance, and then bring up a speaker's name. I've noticed that what he's done in the marketplace is pretty amazing because he's done a little pivot. Like he's been able to help people like really reduce their level of anxiety. I want to tell you about a new program that he has. Now, if you ain't got no new signature programs, you ain't got shit new to talk about.
Right.
But if you go teach your speakers how to develop better messaging, now you got something to go and say, now we're coming stronger as a team. What's their current situation? What problem are you going to help them solve? What's the implication if they don't gain some benefit and they're going to stay stuck in the same situation? Is there a need? And then what's the payoff? See, that's spin selling, brother. See, beautiful. I use the framework of spin selling when I do my presentation. That's managing a sales cycle from contact to close. So if you're not over delivering, Joe, and over delivering, when you do it on a regular basis, it's really not hard work because that just becomes part of your presentation. See, some people think over delivering is, remember, Joe, most people in the marketplace, they think me and Austin are doing too much. Or y'all are extra, y'all are doing too much. Y'all need to relax. No, you need to do more. See, that's why we run a multi-million-dollar sales funnel. Most people's shit wind up in the spam folder, or most people's ad campaigns don't convert because they don't look at the data. They don't look at the metrics. They don't look at the phraseology. I'm telling you, bro, like between me and Austin, this has never been done before in the history of the internet. And if you got both angles, when I get some data, I immediately send it to Slack and Austin. Austin, watch this. I sent Austin an email I sent him a Slack message the other day, probably with 18 separate characteristics from all these different area codes that have been coming into our sales funnel. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. But remember, you win by attrition. So I told him the good, the bad, and the ugly. He needs that data. You know why? Because he can tweak it on that end. He can stop some of that stuff from coming in. See? I don't know how to do it, but he does. But he's listening to the data. So listen to your client, Joe. The real question is this. Have you called him and asked him, how can you serve him at a higher level? Have you called him and asked him what is really going on with them?
Since I joined this program, I've been doing more of it, bro. I've been coming from service. You'll like it too. This is what KTR, this is what I did real quick. Okay. After all sales calls, at the end of the day, I'm taking the pain points. Let's say it's around leadership, and I'm putting that into another document. I have leadership, DEI, mental health. I'm putting those pain points. I'm putting that phraseology there. And then I have other things under that, leadership, like statistics, right? So I'm going and finding some research around statistics, and then I'm putting what is our value proposition, right? Good. So how do we solve that? So then, you know, it's not fully congregated yet, but next time I'm on with a client, they're talking about leadership. They have these keywords. I can go into the statistics and I have the value prop of how I solve that or how someone on my team solves that in the programs and how they solve that. Absolutely. So that's been a huge tweak, man. Huge tweak.
Joe, listen, bro, I'm going to tell you right now, the last 3 or 4 support tickets that you sent in, you're starting to relax, bro. Like, I know you're good at what you do, and I know you offer value. Obviously, you're making money. You're in the 6-figure range. You're making money. I know you want to scale it up. But I really appreciate the fact that you're like taking time to listen to people that know how to do this at a higher level, because that's really the real struggle that speakers are making in the marketplace. And that's a huge advantage for you and your speakers, because guess what? I'm just going to call it what it is. I talk to a lot of assholes every day that think they know more about this business than me. See, there's so many speakers that are prima donnas, and there's so many speakers that are taken for granted. They think the speaking engagement is going to fall from the sky because they got a bunch of credentials and a bunch of degrees and stuff.
They just need an agent. They just need an agent, dog. That's it. They're God's gift, man. They just need an agent. I get it.
Well, you know what? A lot of them don't deserve you. No. A lot of them, because most agencies, bro, they don't operate. And most agencies aren't good at marketing, Joe. And you know that. No. They're not. They're not good at marketing. So now you're getting your speakers work. You have a system to do that, and you're learning how to create better phraseology. Taking this back to all your, like, I've heard you pivot. I can feel the difference in the way you submit support tickets, even with the way you're talking right now. It's a simple paradigm shift that has happened because you understand, damn, well, maybe KTR and Austin is right. Maybe I wasn't focusing on the phraseology. I see it all the time when students send us, hey, this is the framework of the outbound email that I've been sending out. It's all wrong. Yeah. Most people, Joe, listen to this carefully. And this is something I learned from Austin. Most people, they focusing on all the wrong shit. They focusing on likes. They're focusing on big flexing. They focusing on bragging on the internet about what they have. They want people to think they're bigger than what they really are. They're not feeding the machine. When you see me post a piece of content, it feeds our marketing machine. You heard what he said. Austin tracks all of this stuff. Okay, what's the first place they go? Because I ask them these questions, bro. What's the first place they go after they do a Google ad? They go to our website. The first place they go after that is they do a Google search on my name. Yeah. Boom, 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 just like that. Right? So that means if they're doing a Google search on my name, in the top 10 things that pop up on a Google search, 3 things that pop up. Kevin T. Robertson, they search Kevin T. Robertson motivational speaker. They search Kevin T. Robertson speaker focus, and they search Kevin T. Robertson net worth. Those are the top 3 things that people search on my name when they put it in there. Google knows this, so it gives you the top 3 searches. Now, they also want to know Kevin T. Robertson or speaker focus reviews. Now, they do that. So when they go pull up the first page, now you're getting into the social proof. Oh, let me click on this guy's YouTube channel. Oh, all I'm doing is talking about leadership. Or if I'm a speaker who doesn't understand the speaking industry, oh my God, I could sit here for hours and listen to this guy, and all he's doing is helping speakers on the Monday Q&A call. Oh, let me click on one. Let me go to his LinkedIn. He's gonna get more of the same. See, I don't share anything else, Joe. I maximize that premium real estate space. If you look at my social media, I don't post anything other than what it takes to be a professional speaker, earn more fees, the phraseology, the messaging, the mindset, connecting with the meeting planner. I'm the only person in my space who does it like that, bro. The only one. What does that say to you? Am I special? Am I lucky? No, because I did everything Austin asked me to do. That's why we're multimillionaires. God damn, how many more ways do I need to say it?
You understand the game, man, and you play it.
Yes. Yeah, and I didn't understand it before. I didn't understand it 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. I was freaking lost. Yeah. That's why I got so much passion, because we really want you to know.
Yeah, man. I want to go back to one thing you said. I do have to hop off. I'm getting together with a friend.
No problem. We about to wrap the call. This is the last call for questions, by the way, after Joe asked this question. Go ahead, Joe.
Well, just 2 things, man. What you said, I said this in my comment today. The code for us to scale is going to be phraseology and understanding that, and marketing, man. It's like, look, and this is, I think to even some of the people on this call, like, we brooded our way to like 6 figures. Like we'll do 6 figures in speaking revenue this year. And like, that was all just off of ripping cold calls and following up with people and that stuff. And you can do that, right?
Yeah. If you got a lot of hustle, everybody don't have your hustle though, Joe. Everybody don't have your hustle.
Of course. But what I'm realizing, and feel free to challenge me on this, KTR, is it's going to take detail. It's going to take finesse. It's going to take understanding marketing, copywriting, and some of the finer details, which in full transparency is a skill set I'm working on. But as I figure that out, that's what's going to give me the business, the impact, the life that I want. And I know that that's the next step that I need as an entrepreneur, which is why, you know, the benefit I've got for being in this program as well. So I'm pumped up, man. I'm fired up.
Yeah, you should be, bro. Listen, just keep your head down, keep working hard, block out all the distractions. And I know we're in holiday season, but just get the work done, man. And you're gonna see the results pay off in the marketplace. Joe just asked his last question. This is the final call for questions. I think Samantha and Lisa, if I'm not, did Lisa have her hand up? Did she have another question? Okay, maybe she does. I wanted to touch on something that Joe said. Just one last thing that Joe said. If you look at anybody who runs a multi-million-dollar software, if you look at anybody who runs a highly converted sales funnel, I should say, let me say that, because they all don't have to be millionaires. There's coaches out here that's making $150,000 and $250,000 a year, and they're leaving their jobs and they're crushing the market. You know, they haven't figured it out on a higher level yet, but that's better than the money that they were making. I mean, it's so many stories of people that used to drive Uber and used to do DoorDash and everything, and they just boom, and all of a sudden they got a converting sales funnel because they figured it out. So think about it like this. Not one of them, and all of our mentors, not one of them, they all think the same exact way. Just the stuff that me and Austin are telling you right now. Everybody places a premium on delivering value. Everybody places a premium on over-delivering more than anybody else in your space. Everybody places a premium on making sure they connect with the customer and they solve a problem. You ask anybody who runs a successful sales funnel, and all of them, why did I recommend Jasper.ai to Samantha early on in the Zoom session? Because Jasper helped solve a problem that many people struggle with, and that's copywriting. And that's why they're doing so well. That's why they got a $1.7 billion valuation on their company, and they reached unicorn status in 17, 18 months. That's a fast growing tech company that solved a real big problem for copywriters worldwide. Everybody want to get in the game and learn how to do this shit, but you can't learn it unless you're getting the right kind of information. So why is it that we teach you from the perspective that we do? Because this is the way we were taught. This is the way Sam Ovens trained us. This is the way Alex Becker trained us. This is the way Gary Vee trained us. This is the way Frank Kern trained us. This is the way Ty Lopez trained us. This is the way the biggest speakers in the world, the biggest coaching programs in the world, all of them have somebody on the back end that understands that shit like Austin does and I do on a whole nother level. And I'm telling you, if you keep your head down and you keep focusing on the proper phraseology, your outbound email approach, the way the campaign is set up the right way through your subdomains. If you have it all set up the right way and your offering is very strong, your curriculum, your deliverable is very strong. See, what is that? Value, 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 all the way through. If you look at Jordan Belfort's straight line selling system, if you look at anybody who really understands how to sell, you have to know how to sell. And if you don't, you're going to be in trouble. But if you have some shit to sell, it's not going to convert. And believe me, this had to sink in before I understood any of this, before I understood this game on a higher level like I do right now. Believe me, Austin used to be on my ass. I'm talking session after session after session after session after session after session. He had to almost beat it out on me, but I respected him and I knew I had to commit to it. He had to get me to get away from big flexing, because that's what I thought social media was. I said, oh, shit, I could just do a timeline takeover. The rest of these speakers don't have many celebrity pictures as me. I could just flood my timeline with a bunch of celebrity photos. And everybody was like, oh shit, KTR, I didn't know you interviewed this person, but it wasn't putting no money in the bank. Then all of a sudden, Austin says, okay, if you're going to use that photo, if you're going to use that interview, if you're going to use this video, it has to feed the machine. It has to support your sales funnel. Then I understood construction of sales funnel. I understood how to write a VSL. All I did was do the things that Austin was taught, and then Austin taught it to me. And then he's constantly sending me nonstop videos, nonstop support. And yo, Yo, Kev, check. Yo, look at this when you get a cup. If you get a break today, look at this. It's only 7 minutes. Yo, look at this new training that Sam Ovens just put out. It's 22 minutes. I look at this shit 5 times when he sent it to me. Because every single time I look at it, all it does is convert into making money. And it's all value-based. It's all service-based. It's all over-delivering. It's all making sure that you post content. And because I get a lot of questions about this. Yo, KTR, how come, I want you to share. You can't even share nothing on my Facebook wall. You can't share. I don't give a fuck about tag and all that bullshit. I don't participate in any of that. You know why? Because that shit is a distraction to my sales funnel. And I am posting information and content that feeds the machine. And that's what you should be doing. Anything you post on your social media, you are making it so easy for the person to make a decision to hire you to speak. Now, the less content, you should be pushing out content at scale. You should be pushing out 5 to 10 pieces of content every single week. You could pick one day and spend an hour writing content, posting content, taking pictures, dropping videos, and then let it drip all throughout the week. And then when people go visit your social media, now they're clicking on all of the value. And the reason why I do long form copy is because people go back through and read it. They go back and through, man, KTR, thanks for sharing the story. You might not see it in the likes, but I hear it on the call. See, y'all are focusing on all the wrong shit. I don't give a shit about likes. I care about the data and the metrics that count on the back end. I care about conversion rates. I care about close ratios. I care about selling. I care about over delivering on the value. If you want to know why we operate the way we do, it's a reason. Because trust me, when you do business with Auston, he don't care about none of that shit. I get people be bitching and complaining all the time. Well, I don't understand why Auston doesn't have anything on his Instagram page. Sam Ovens makes $30-40 million a year. He don't have one post either. So all we do is do everything Sam does. Now, Auston doesn't have to do that because he's not the speaker. He's not the face of Speaker Focus the way I am, that he is with other companies that we operate. So I'm the one that posts the content. People are like, man, I don't understand, man. I try to find your business partner online. You don't need to worry about finding them online. You need to listen to what it is I'm telling you that he wants you to do. And so your ass can get a high conversion rate like me. But people are focused on all the wrong stuff. We know people with millions of followers, blue check verified, broke as shit. You know why? Because the days where you can put up a post organically and say, hey, come buy my shit, that shit's over. That shit's been over 3, 4, 5 years ago. Can't do that anymore. Definitely on Facebook. So you got people focusing on all the wrong stuff, posting all the wrong content, thinking that they're big flexing. That shit is, people are tired of seeing that. It gets old real fast. And then you burn out and you get tired. So because you ain't got nothing to offer the marketplace, and the market, you're not serving the marketplace. You know why? Because you don't understand your market space. I understand my market space. I study it, I research it, I talk to it every single day. I talk to meeting planners every day. I talk to speakers from all different walks of background, all different kind of genres, all different kind of niches every single day. I assess hundreds and hundreds of speaker profiles until my eyes roll up in the back of my head. See, I'm doing research for fun while you watching TV. I'm studying the marketplace while you Netflix and chilling. That don't mean I ain't having no fun, but I'm utilizing my time in a whole kind of different way. I'm constantly studying speaker profiles, so I know what the client's gonna say before they even say it. That's how immersed we are in the marketplace. And Auston does the same exact thing on the tech side. Now, for me, I still have to learn the tech side as well. And Auston is sensitive to the data that I feed him because that's how it works in synchronicity. What are you going to do for your sales funnel to get it to work in synchronicity? How are you going to upgrade your phraseology and your messaging? You just heard Joe. Joe runs a 6-figure agency, is getting his speakers work, and he wants to take his shit to a whole nother level. Well, how you think you're going to do that? You think you're going to do it by listening to people to make 50 grand a year? It ain't going to happen. You need to listen to people that make more money than you. You need to listen to people who are immersed. I'm talking about obsessive. Literally, we are obsessed with creating the best customer experience possible. And that's why people in our space don't outwork us. Listen, It's facts. All of y'all know it. You know because you get the service. You can't say that about everybody in this space. Let them keep doing whatever it is that they're doing, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and Austin's going to keep doing what we're doing. Now, I don't see any more hands up. So that means if you got any other support tickets, you know the drill. Submit them to support@speakerfocus.com. See, this is what you got to understand about me and Austin. I got high energy, and I'm 54. I done already lost 27 pounds over the last 4 months. I still got another 25 or 30 to go. And I'm going to get even more energy, and I'm 54. And Austin got youth on his side. So we ain't going nowhere no time soon, and we definitely ain't going to run out of energy and run out of steam no time soon. Because if you really want to get honest about this, yeah, we're number one in our space, but we just getting started. And you haven't seen anything yet, because I'm just really getting full command over the mastery of sales funnel management. And what you got coming next is a whole nother. Speakerfocus.com ain't even gonna look the same in 6 months from now. We're doing showcases. We just finished with our first showcase, wildly successful. Terry Wade, I see you, Terry. What's up, Terry? Love you so much. I see you at showcase in January. Terry, is about to go down. This showcase is going to be even bigger this time. Oh my God, I cannot wait. Lisa Allman Baldwin is showcasing. Janae Wright is showcasing from New York. Oh my God, this is so. Brian Rehorn showcasing in January. Man, it is absolutely amazing. So listen, we're not running out of steam, and we aren't going anywhere. We're high energy around here, and we're going to be here every single Monday doing what we do, because nobody else is willing to do it and provide the service. Remember, over deliver for your clients, understand your client, create the best customer experience, help them solve their problems. Remember, understand what the current situation that they're in, help them get out of that situation, help them solve a very specific problem with your professional speaking deliverables or your coaching or your consultancy, and make sure that you are helping them understand what the implication is if they don't do something about their current problem. Help them move away from that problem. Show them what the next level looks like. Show them illustration beats conversation. And then if they need it and they want it and you got it, they're going to buy it. See, show them what the reward looks like. Show them how they're going to profit from you helping them solve their need. If you keep that spin selling method in mind, then you too will increase your closing ratio and be able to manage your client in a better way. We do hope that you enjoyed this version of the Monday Q&A call, November 21st, 2022. We are in holiday season. It's the holiday season. And listen, I am so happy. Thank you so much for your support. Keep the support tickets coming, ladies and gentlemen. We do truly appreciate you, and we love serving you at the highest level possible. I see you soon, all right?